maybe the thing that I will kind of say for a lot of these is, if you're somebody who's thinking about starting a startup and there's something that's keeping you from doing it, I think my advice here is to like, you kind of need to be honest with yourself about whether the thing that's holding you back is like a real thing or not. Oftentimes I feel like people rationalize fear. And so they're like afraid of doing a startup, or it's a big risk. And it's all of those things. I'm not trying to tell people that it's not, but then they kind of like rationalize that, and they're like, they pick a reason that other people have kind of said or seems tangible, and they use that to kind of like rationalize why they're worried about it. And my advice to them is like, kind of be honest, see if that's kind of what you're doing. And if the reason that you have for not doing a startup, just do the math on it, right? It's just like, okay, if you're worried about the risk, like sit down and grapple with the risk. Like, okay, what is the real risk here? What is your runway? What are you willing to give up? So you can do the math there. And then the other part of de-risking is like, work on whatever the idea is in your like spare time, right? Be like, cool, Sunday afternoons, I'm going to work on my startup. And so you can, on one hand, get an understanding of what the downside is and how much runway you have for that. And then on the other side is you can get increased kind of like conviction around what you're working on. And I think if you tackle both of those at the same time, it will help you kind of get over some of this fear. But if you just kind of sit and you're like, okay, there's this like thing and I'm not doing anything about it, you're never going to get off the sidelines here. So that's my kind of piece of advice. Brian, do you have a different one you want to add on to mine?
It's our t-shirts again. It's solve level, go after level 1.
Yep.
Before you like think about it. I think most of these misconceptions are like, you're thinking about level 10.
Yeah.
Or you're thinking about
100%.
level 100, right? You're like, you're thinking too far ahead, and you're like, wow, that is so far. Okay, this is gonna be really bad because I'm so bad at sports.
I did.
Like,
Brian plays no sports, by the way, for everybody. He does not care about
zero
sports.
sports. But you're like, okay, can I be an Olympic swimmer? That's what you're like thinking, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't even know how to swim. You've never done it in your life, or whatever. Like the first step is like, touch the water, like put your like toes into the water, right? And then see if you can like submerge your up to your neck or something.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even know what people are supposed to do, but like and I think you're like building confidence, right? Like you're doing all these baby steps, you're building confidence. You're kind of like, so yeah, just I don't know if this is good advice from that. Like, think less, do more, right? It's kind of like what I think we should do.
I think the swimmer one is like a really good analogy. It's almost like getting VC funding is like worrying about being sponsored and you haven't like swam at all. It's like, oh yeah, how am I going to get Nike to sponsor me as a swimmer? And it's like, I haven't gotten the pool at all, right? It's like Nike sponsors you as a result of kind of all the stuff you do, but like you need to worry about getting in the pool and that kind of stuff. So, wow, Bima, not bad for not playing any sports. Like pretty good.
I feel like at some point in my life, I should do some sport.
You should do some sport. I wonder what sport that would.
I don't know.
I don't know either.